you hear more and more of this discourse over the last couple of weeks.
You also report in this piece that Donald Trump, then President Trump, in July 2020, he promised to cover the funeral costs of 20-year-old U.S. Army Private Vanessa Guillen, who had been bludgeoned to death by a fellow soldier at Fort Hood. But he reneged months later after inquiring about the cost during an Oval Office meeting. And you write that Trump became angry. Quote, "It doesn't cost $60,000 to bury an effing Mexican." He turned to his chief of staff, Mark Meadows, and issued an order. Don't pay it. Later that day, he was still agitated. "Can you believe it?" he said, according to a witness. "Effing people trying to rip me off."
Are upset about it, obviously, and I have contemporaneous notes taken in the room that reflect the kind of shock. Remember, it's shocking, but only to a degree if you worked for him for a while, because there's a lot of, let's say, emotion that coursed through that White House. Obviously, other people in the room, including Meadows and Kash Patel, who was the chief of staff to the Secretary of Defense, the acting Secretary of Defense at the time, because he had just fired Mark Esper, are denying that this happened and issued statements that saying that Donald Trump was very supportive of the family. The fact remains that he didn't pay, but there's a split. Mark Meadows has come out and said that this didn't happen. But I have great confidence in my sources and in the notes that I've seen.
What does this suggest about Donald Trump?
He was triggered by this in a couple of ways. Obviously, we know that the subject of Mexico and Mexicans is a sensitive one. Him to go all the way back to 2015, when he was warning the country about Mexican rapists coming across the border. That's been a through line. And obviously, and this is the larger point of the story, he has difficulty expressing admiration in private settings and admiration for soldiers. When he reads from a teleprompter, he says the right things, and he has shown sympathy to certain groups of soldiers in the past. But his relationship with the military, this goes back to my reporting that he called World War I veterans who had lost their lives suckers and losers. He has a very complicated relationship with national service and with the soldiers in a way that we haven't seen in other presidents.
Jeffrey Goldberg, thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.